Hello, everybody. Back here again for our vlog a day, and today is Thursday the 7th, and today was a lovely day to be alive. So, got up today, had a handful of things to get done, had a nice little cool breeze in the air. Felt nice. It's that super great time of spring where it's definitely nice and cool in the mornings, warms up nicely in the afternoon, cools back off in the morning again. So it's no air on, no heat, none of that stuff. Just a fan in the window blowing through the house, and it really makes for a beautiful, beautiful day and a beautiful night's sleep both. So, had some really weird thing with my health. I don't know what's going on. I woke up this morning. I was so dizzy I couldn't walk. Had to hold on to walls and stuff. Took me forever to kind of finally get through that. I don't think I ever quite. I was still kind of feeling off a little bit all day. Had a handful of things to get done around here. Got those taken care of. One of the things I did was actually had signed up to be a foster care person, I guess, for a breed specific dog organization, and we'll see what happens. It looks like it's on. It's one of those weird things where like they're super picky type people, where they're kind of a little bit almost snobbish on some of those places. Like I remember I looked into a greyhound rescue place one time, and they were so picky, and so I mean, it's honestly was easier to adopt a Chinese baby than it would have been to get one of their greyhounds. So I had kind of tried to get one of those many, many years ago and had given up in the process because of the fact that they had a couple like unannounced house visits, which was fine, except the fact that it's unannounced, and they had a policy in there that if they missed you 3 times in a row, then you were automatically out of the process. And I explained to them, well, these are the general hours that I'm working with my own business, and they are not set. We don't have, because if things are going on, whatever, and they came down 3 times at this like noon on a Wednesday, like 3 times in a row, and noon on Wednesday, I was an hour away at my business, running my business. So, and they were just, I don't know, it's one of those weird things where you pay a bunch of money to even get put on the evaluation list, and then they basically pick some stupid thing like the fact that I wasn't here. They're like, well, if we tell you when we'll be there, then that's not an unannounced visit. We have to see how you live your life. And I'm like, that's fine, but I've given you the general hours of when I would be around at the house, and you guys didn't seem to care about that. So no refund, no nothing, just out that money. So it's one of those weird things where I think they kind of feel like, sometimes you get some of those organizations where people think that they're the only one who can give an animal a good home, and that's clearly not the case. They ask for some references and that kind of thing too, so we'll see what happens with that. You can look at my videos of how I handle Bruce and that, different things. So obviously I would be a great foster person, and the fact that I'm having my dog with me 24/7, I'm at dog parks, running, trails, all that kind of stuff. I'd have a ton of people who would be seeing him and throw a little vest on it that says I'm up for adoption. He would get seen by hundreds of people a week, as opposed to getting seen by a few people on a website. So, well, I don't know. We'll see what happens in the whole process, and hopefully I'll get some good news and I'll end up getting them, and everything will work out. But if not, oh well. I kind of believe, big believer in the fact that things that are meant to be will be, and things that are not meant to be will find their way not to be. So, kind of with the dizziness thing, I was kind of feeling a little back and forth. Wasn't really sure what was going on there. I've had some advice from people. Maybe I've knocked my electrolytes out. I've been drinking too much water, and then the sweating, running the last couple days. So that might have been a problem this morning. Went back out today for my run, knocked out my 3rd day in a row at 16 plus kilometers a day, and just, I don't know, it feels kind of weird. I usually don't run that long back to back to back like that, so it's kind of interesting. I've been really nursing a couple injuries, and my miles are way off, and it's just been, I don't know, just been feeling like I wanted to run longer the last few days. So today I went out with just a handheld bottle. The last 2 days before that, I went out with my hydro pack with food and, actual, almost 2 liters of water with me and that kind of thing. This time I went out with a 21-ounce bottle that had a, just the handheld's all I had. I did have a goo with me, which I took about an hour into my run. Not quite an hour into my run, probably 50 minutes into my run, I guess. And basically, a little bit over halfway through the point, took the goo. It's not that big a deal. It's just something, I knew I usually try to eat every hour on my slow train runs. And ironically, the 3 days in a row, each day has been a few seconds a mile faster average pace. So it's been kind of interesting. I had no intention the last few days to go out and run that far each time. And that's where I end up at. I kind of wanted to run at least one decent distance coming up, because I haven't ran that long since I've been nursing the Achilles tendon injury, and I've got a half marathon coming up next weekend, not a couple days from now, but like 9 days from now. So we'll see how that goes. I know I can run the distance. I just don't think I can run it real fast. So we'll have to see what happens in that whole process. But I figure if I can run 3 days in a row at these distances, I can definitely knock out a half marathon. Simple enough. So just got to get figured out what's going on with the whole electrolyte thing. I'm going to go pick up some Gatorade, see if that won't help. I've been trying to eat some different foods, trying to get some yogurt in me, lots of bananas, that kind of stuff. Trying to figure out what I'm missing. So definitely gotta get it figured out. I used to have some of these dizzy spells before when I had the problem. Went to a doctor's, spent like $100,000 plus in testing all that crap, and it came up with some little bull crap, thing they sort of diagnosed was untestable, but what they believed it was, and they said basically to stop drinking caffeine and to eat more salt. So I cut back my caffeine at that point in my life to 0, and then I've since upped it again lately, where I'll drink like a 24-ounce bottle once a day of Mountain Dew, which is definitely not an overkill. Because in fact, I was drinking 6 to 8 liters of Mountain Dew at the time back then. So definitely been trying to eat more salt. Also, like my hard-boiled eggs, I'm salting the crap out of that. A lot of my other foods, trying to pump my salt up. So who knows? I might try and see a doctor to figure out if this happens again. I got to get it figured out, because this was pretty bad. I couldn't have drove. There was a lot of things I couldn't have done this morning if it was life dependent on it. It would have been dangerous for me to try and do things to really kind of, I guess, protect myself if things had went bad. Like if I'd had to drive the dog to the vet or something like that, I would have been in trouble. So definitely want to get that figured out and get my life, I guess, I don't know, my health, I guess, back on track. So who knows? That's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe and wonderful day. Thanks for watching.